This here is for all of you who have loved ones incarcerated across the states and state institutions. I know y'all worry about them, care for them. I know in y'all's minds y'all wonder what they're going through at times. There's a lot of things that we as inmates won't talk to our family about. We don't want them to know. I'm not even going to get into that right now. I'm just going to give you a piece of my mind. I just got done doing 15 and a half years flat in the state of Texas. I have 5 months left on parole. I've been out for about 3.5 weeks, most. Wrote this about six, maybe 7.5 years ago. While I was down doing time, I was in high security, where you're in your cell for 23 hours a day. You have a cellmate. The only time you get to come out is if you go to rec for an hour, but you generally don't get rec because they say they're short of staff. My bad. They say they're short of staff, right? Which generally ain't the truth. They just don't feel like dealing with us. Everything comes to your cell. Your showers in your cell. Food comes to the cell. Medication comes to the cell. So on and so forth. But here it is. I wrote this right here. It's about mass incarceration. It says mass incarceration is everywhere, inside and outside of prisons alike. Mass incarceration is a nationwide problem. Once in prison, it is hard to maintain one's composure due to the constant harassment and mistreatment of the officers, or from the officers. The officers of correctional facilities across the nation come to work with the mindset that we as inmates are all horrible people, the scum of the earth, so to speak. This is especially a major case in the state of Texas. I know this to be a fact because I was just incarcerated in the state of Texas and was dealing with these same problems. Since the officers of the institution of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice continues to look for reasons to harass one about, to try and rile a person, get a reaction out of one of us. They do these types of things as if it's some type of game to get laughs about. The officers do these things on a regular basis. And if they see you don't lose your cool or get out of character, they will continuously try to provoke you into succumbing to their level in order to write you disciplinary infractions. And these disciplinary infractions are really non-serious, frivolous infractions that have been blown out of proportion and have the ability to alter one's opportunities of parole, in turn stripping one of their chance for freedom, for their chance to return to their families, to y'all, their loved ones. These infractions are infractions that do not necessarily determine if one is capable of being a productive member of society. So, see, inside there is a constant violation of one's rights according to the United States Constitution, namely the 1st, 5th, and 14th Amendment. Yet these violations go unseen because we offenders have the right to file a formal complaint works with the agency we are filing the complaint against, so there's no form of resolution for us. Therefore, the harassment continues. Some officers go as far as trying to pressure offenders into working for them, basically snitching, so to speak, which is a violation of rights too. Basically telling an offender to obtain information concerning what is going on around the facility or unit. They will threaten offenders into being an informant for them by telling the offenders that if they don't cooperate, they will make sure they don't have a chance of making parole. Usually they target offenders that have something to lose, such as contact visits with their family, loved ones, or the chance to make parole in the near future. Basically, the officers will set you up, lie on you, or do whatever they want to write you bogus disciplinary infractions or cases until you stand no chance of going home or making parole because of your disciplinary history. This is a major problem in the Texas prison system, especially on units further away from the main headquarters in Huntsville, and it continues due to the fact that there's no way for offenders to speak up or speak out. Basically, the cries for some form of help fall on deaf ears. This is a nation needs to stand together as a nation united. It seems to be there is no unity amongst the people of America in this day and age. If we won't or don't stand together, we stand alone, and no one person can move a mountain on his or her own. We offenders were sent to prison for the crimes we committed, true. That does not mean we should be treated like animals or subject to constant harassment and or belittlement. We are still human beings and have the right to be treated as such. See, this is a major issue for me. I had to really learn how to deal with all this bullshit that was going on down there, bull that they try to send you through. Because really, I mean, I was just caught up in by association, but it is what it is. It's just real.